Loftus, Senior Manager of Sales Capability. And I'm here this morning with Claire Chadwick, Senior Product Manager. And together we're going to help guide you through the key Premier Plus features that are available to you at every step of your campaign journey. Before we start, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet across Australia today, and acknowledge their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and we also welcome any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander team members who are here today. So what are we going to get out of today? Or more importantly, what are you going to get out of today? In this session, there's a few key things we want to make sure you walk away with. Primarily, it's about helping you unlock the full value of Premier Plus within Ignite. To help you understand how to get the best results for your unlimited Premier listing with some new tips and tricks. To help you and your teams run your campaigns more effectively with tools like schedulers and the new campaign overview tool, and to help improve your listing performance with new listing strength checks and image optimization tools. You're also getting a little sneak peek at the end of today's webinar of more value that's coming from the 1st of July. If you do have any questions at all throughout the webinar, we'll aim to respond to those at the end. So please make sure you use the Q&A function. And if you can, please enter your email address and your name. Any questions we don't get through to in the 1 hour ahead, we'll make sure we can come back to you post-webinar. No doubt many of you will already be really familiar with a number of the features of Premier Plus and the offering that we've got in market. So ultimately, it's our job today to make sure you're familiar with all the new features available and know how you can use those to help get the best possible results for your listings. Please also keep an eye out for some QR codes that you're going to see throughout today's webinar. These are going to direct you and your teams to some handy resources, particularly housed on the Premier Plus Resource Hub. It's going to have videos on there, tips and tricks, and also some useful guides you can use with your teams and vendors. And we'll be showcasing some of that content through the webinar today. We're also just going to check in with a couple of questions throughout today's poll, or today's webinar, sorry. We'll predominantly use the chat functionality. So please be ready to just jump in and provide your feedback. It's really important to help us, and in particular, Claire and her teams, with what are the most valuable features for you. So without further ado, Claire, I might pass over to you.
Okay, I might just start with a quick video.
When you're with Premier Plus, it doesn't expire. It's going to be at the top of the list until your property is sold.
So you will get that exposure until the property sells. So it could be 3 weeks, it could be 7 weeks, although that never happens. But at least it gives you confidence that your property's not going to drop down to page 3 and 4 that it does for some other people that aren't on Premier.
It's not only do you get increased visibility, but it's also targeting people who have been looking at that sort of product in the last 6 months. They might not be actively looking, but they'll still get an email with a brochure if they looked for something similar. So you're getting passive buyers as well as active buyers. With the Premier Plus listings, you will get 20% more inquiry. 20% more inquiry means more people that will come through your inspection, more people that will be competing for the property. And there's an old saying in real estate, the more people that walk through the front door, the higher the sale price.
How great was that? I hope some of that really resonated with you all here today. So I wanted to start today by talking to you about Ignite. Ignite is our customer platform, and it has a huge range of powerful insights and digital tools, and is free with your subscription. So you all have access to it right now. To put it simply though, without Ignite, you're missing out on all the best parts of Premier Plus that are included in your contract. So in Ignite, you'll find digital tools that will help you work smarter, things like schedulers for your listing bump, your e-brochures or image optimization. You'll have access to our new campaign overview. You can upload coming soon listings, and you can apply your campaign flex or lower value asset flex, which is coming the 1st of July. You'll also have access to powerful insights at your fingertips. So things like your listing strength check and property feature suggestions, which are new, and also listing insights, including our amazing new postcode reporting, which is coming the 1st of July as well. You can also choose how you want to use Ignite. So you can buy your app or your desktop, or you can have it integrated in your CRM if you'd like. But be aware that each feature is accessed slightly different on each platform. I can't stress enough how important Ignite is. So I think we'd love to hear from some of you.
Yeah, so if you can just open up the chat functionality on the webinar, we'd just like a simple yes or no. Yes, if you have access to Ignite currently and you're able to access the tools from today. No, if you're not currently in Ignite and you need a little extra support. We'll give you about 30 seconds. Thanks. So we can see predominantly yeses coming through on the chat, which is fantastic. If you are someone who's either sitting back and didn't want to type no or is a no, it's a really, really important first step. And I'd encourage you to visit our resource hub for further information on how to access Ignite, or please reach out to REA's customer support teams who can help you directly to access your Ignite tool today.
Great. So Premier Plus is our complete digital marketing solution. It's designed to help you get the best result at every stage of your advertising campaign. So today I'm going to refer to the picture you can see on your screens, which breaks down Premier Plus into 3 easy to understand stages. So first we have pre-market. This is about helping you build demand for your properties pre-market. On market, designed to help you boost your reach while you are on market. And then post-market, which is helping you to share your results with those prospective vendors. For property managers, leasing consultants, and BDMs who are on the line, you're certainly not forgotten. There's a huge amount of value you get from your Premier Plus rent listings, namely the unlimited Premier, e-brochures, listing bump, listing optimization, and the new campaign overview. And I'll be sure to call this out as we run through the details coming up.
So Claire, we've been in market now with Premier Plus for just over 2 years. And the performance of Premier Plus listing continues to speak for themselves. I know a couple were mentioned earlier in the first video we heard. Really keen to hear the latest insights around performance of Premier Plus.
Yeah, Lofty. So as you can see on the screen, Premier Plus listings deliver 20% more email inquiries compared to a Premier listing and 28% more page views compared to a Premier listing. And this is really exciting. It helps to sell your properties 10 days faster than a Premier listing. So it really is giving you and your vendors the best result.
So let's start with what's the largest component of Premier Plus in terms of the features that are available. And that's when your listings are on market. Claire's going to provide some tips around how to maximize your unlimited Premier listing, while also walking through some of the available on-market features you can activate, including our newest and enhanced features, specifically how to use campaign overview, how to schedule a listing bump and a second e-brochure for buy, and how to use a bunch of new features that exist within listing optimization. So Claire, let's get into it.
Yes. So as the name suggests, as part of your Premier Plus contract, your Premier listing remains unlimited. So that means no more 30, 45-day or 60-day upgrades. And we know this is so valuable in today's market where we're seeing those days on market push out in some areas. And it also means you don't have to go back to your vendor to ask for any more dollars once the listing is live. A reminder also, your Premier listing will continue to rotate back to the top of the search results every 15 days. So day 1, 16, 31, 46, 61, and so on. Campaign overview. The campaign overview is our brand new feature on Premier Plus that we released just at the end of March, available for both buy and rent listings. So it provides you with a visual overview of the listing timeline from when it was listed to when it's marked as sold or leased, with reminders along the way to action any of those unused features, all in one easy location in Ignite. So it'll include things like when the listing is rotating, if you have any inspections or auctions scheduled, when the campaign flex points are applied, when products or features are scheduled, like a listing bump, an AMAX, and when your image optimization will occur, when you have listing insights available and when your e-brochures are scheduled to go out. Campaign Overview is also a really great vendor management tool because it allows you to show your vendors and landlords that you're working on their campaign at every step. It'll highlight all the additional features available that can boost your campaign, like the listing bump or e-brochures. And these are really designed to help build more engagement with your listing, be able to react to those market conditions, and then attract more buyers and tenants to the property. So let's watch a really quick video on how to access Campaign Overview in Ignite.
Today, I'm going to run you through how to access Campaign Overview, a new feature that'll help you run more efficient Premier Plus campaigns by giving you a snapshot of all the key dates and actions needed. Once you've logged into Ignite, head over to the Listings and Campaigns section, and from the list, pick the listing that you'd like to see the overview for. Once there, navigate over to the Details tab, and here you'll see your new Campaign Overview. Campaign Overview is designed to help run a more efficient campaign for every Premier Plus listing. The timeline provides a streamlined view of key dates and actions for the entirety of the campaign, so you'll know when to expect certain things to happen, such as when your automatic e-brochure is due to go out, when your image order is about to be optimized, or when you've booked some inspections. Any of your unused Premier Plus products are also highlighted below, giving you quick access to book your second e-brochure or schedule a listing bump. The timeline is dynamic, so any of these extra actions you choose to schedule will appear on the timeline too. Plus, Ignite will continue to populate this section with any new actions that become available, like a new suggested image order from our image optimization algorithm.
Okay, great. So now I want to talk about Listing Bump. In a nutshell, Listing Bump gives you the ability to push your property back to the very top of the search results. And the performance of this little bump is pretty impressive. So Premier Plus listings that utilize Listing Bump see a huge 105% more property page views in the 7 days following that bump usage than those that don't use the feature. It's incredibly powerful and it's an option right at your fingertips. So it's available right now in Ignite. You can either bump a listing immediately or you can schedule to bump a listing for a time that suits you and your campaign. But with power comes responsibility. So I really encourage everyone on the dial-in to think smart about the way that you would use this strategically. We know that Premier listings are set to rotate every 15 days. So doing a listing bump on day 1 or day 16 is probably not a wise move, given you'll already be close to the top of page 1. What we are hearing in market at the moment are a few different ways that clever agents are using this though. Maybe it's in line with a marketing refresh, whether they're updating images or promoting a new price adjustment. Maybe it's a few days prior to an auction to drive more attendance, or even post-auction for those auctions that may not may have unfortunately passed in. You can choose to bump your listing and help reach a whole new buyer audience post-auction. And in the case of rentals, just prior to the date of applications closing, or again, when a landlord's agreed to adjust an advertised price. So there's just a few different ways to ensure you're thinking strategically about when to trigger your listing bumps.
So Claire, just before we jump through, we're keen to hear from you again. If you can just let us know in the chat functionality now, when or where have you used Listing Bump to support one of your campaigns, and how effective has it been? So we'll just let the chat functionality fire away now for about 30 seconds. Very keen to hear how you've used Bump. One of the questions that's come through now, just to let you know, Listing Bump is only available once for every campaign. So like all tools like this, it's important to use it wisely and consider the performance of the campaign and where the best opportunity is. Seeing lots of different opportunities coming through, but particularly things like price adjustments prior to auction, and particularly if there is a need to maybe reset vendor expectations as well. I think Claire makes a really good point too. The campaign overview tool is a great way to make sure you're not using bump too close to when your property's about to move back up to the top of the search results as part of your natural Premier Plus rotation.
Awesome. Thank you for all those responses. It's
Right.
great to hear from you. So e-brochure. So there are over 10 million individual Australians actively visiting realestate.com.au every month. And over a third of those users are subscribed to a My REA account. They do this because they want to remain informed, updated, and in the know with the latest properties that match their search criteria. So with your Premier Plus e-brochure, you can send a beautiful property email to get right in front of these subscribers who are actively looking for similar properties to the one you're trying to sell. So remember, this is for sales listings, but it's also for rent. So it targets buyers and tenants respectively. So the first e-brochure will send automatically, and you can nominate the day this is sent. For e-brochure buy, we recommend the best results send in and out in the second week of the campaign, usually around day 7. After you've had that initial on-market interest and that starts to taper off, the e-brochure will usually show a spike in buyer activity, keeping the campaign true and well and truly alive.
Truly alive. Yeah.
In the rental market, though, where properties are leasing really quickly, we see customers having success sending this out a lot earlier in the campaign, maybe on day 3 or day 5. So as part of your Prem Plus contract, you actually get access to a second e-brochure in buy at no additional cost. This can be sent at your own discretion and generated through Ignite. And you can either choose to send it the following day, or you can schedule it in advance, just like Listing Bump. So my advice is to use this second e-brochure as a vendor management tool. Keep it up your sleeve for when you might need to smooth out some difficult conversations, if a campaign's not going as well as you'd hoped, or you're struggling to get inquiries or numbers at opens. Many agents also use this in tandem with their Listing Bump to much success. Now, let's move on to listing optimization, which has a bunch of new enhancements that we released at the end of March. So listing optimization is now a suite of products. You'll get insights, recommendations, and actions on how you can improve the engagement of your listing. 2 of the new features I want to talk to you first are listing strength check and property feature suggestions. So listing strength check looks at all the content included in your listing and associates a score to that listing. Based off this score, we'll propose aspects of the listing that are missing to help boost its performance. And we'll show you how the listing compares to similar listings in the suburb. So some of the suggestions include a price, how many images you've included, what your description looks like, have you included enough property features, and have you included any interactive content like a floor plan, a 3D tour, or a video. So how do you use this to your advantage? I recommend you review your listing strength score as soon as it's available, which is usually about 24 hours after you go live, if not earlier, to ensure that you're not missing any important information that property seekers may be looking for. You'll also be able to compare the scores and performance data of similar listing to yours with competition insights, which is incredibly powerful. So why is the strength score important? So research has suggested that you'll get 2 times more views or double the amount of views when you double your strength score. Listing strength checks can also be used for training your staff and setting a benchmark for the quality and completeness of the listings at your agency, which is really important to present yourself and your agency in the best possible light. So property feature suggestions. This feature will suggest additional attributes like a gym or a pool that are unique to the property, and it'll recommend that you add these property features to your listing. These suggestions come from our auto detection software, and it will really help to make your listing stand out amongst the competition. So be sure to look out for these and make sure they're front and center on your listing, including in the property features section and in the listing description. Why are features important? Well, the more features declared means the more filtered searches you'll appear in, which means more opportunities to get in front of those right buyers and renters.
Pardon me. So I just want to go into a little bit more detail about some of those features that you spoke about, Claire, and actually share a couple of statistics around improvements in performance and what to expect. So if you look at the 6 things that are included as part of Listing Health Check, the first is around including a video on your listing. We see that listings with a video achieve 23% more listing views and 11.5% more inquiries than listings that don't include a video. So a great high quality video touring your property works. The second one here is including a price guide. More and more, our audience, our consumers, have told us that they prioritize properties with a listed price. In fact, 85% of our consumer audience will prioritize looking at a property with a price versus a property without a price. And equally, 81% of our consumer audience agree they're more likely to skip over a property without a price in the search results. So price transparency is important and it will drive greater engagement with your listings. The third one Claire mentioned is around floor plan and property size. Listings with a floor plan achieve 36% more listing views than those without. It gives people a chance to understand the look and feel of the property in a different way. Make sure your floor plan is high resolution, black and white with really clear block fonts. PNG is also the suggested format. And please don't forget to include core information such as address, building size, and land size wherever possible as part of that floor plan. Use really high quality imagery. Your Premier Plus listing gives you access to large magazine style imagery. To get the most out of this and to ensure that your photography just really pops, make sure it's high quality, impactful, and use your best image as that hero image, the first image someone will see on the search results page. We also recommend a minimum of 6 images for every single listing. Couple more. Using the listing description to bring the property to life and showcase those unique property details and neighbourhood attractions is a really powerful way to boost the performance of your listing. In addition, we've seen a minimum of 5 property features is recommended. And remember, listing optimization will provide you with those unique property feature suggestions that can also help your property stand out. And finally, add scheduled inspection and auction times. Be sure to include them as early as possible as you're uploading your listings, because this allows potential property seekers to plan ahead and prioritize attendance at your property. So there's our top tips. Let's see now how Strengths Check actually looks in Ignite.
Today, I'm going to run you through how to access Listing Strength Check, an Ignite feature that provides recommendations so you can create top performing listings. Once you've logged into Ignite, head over to the Listings and Campaigns sections, and from the list, pick the listing you'd like to check the strength of. Once there, head to the Manage tab, and on this left-hand side, there'll be a new option called Strength Check. Click on that, and you're presented with your Listing Strength Check. This is made up of 4 parts. Firstly, your overall strength score and how it compares to similar listings. Next, our recommendations to boost your listing's performance. Some similar listings with their scores and some data points to compare yourself to. And lastly, property feature suggestions that will help your listing show up in more searches. Starting from the top, your strength score is ranked out of 100, and listings with higher scores are more likely to get more engagement. Your score is updated daily, so you can see how changes you've made to the listing affect the score every 24 hours. The recommendations are broken up into sections, and you can click on each one to see more details. Each recommendation is supported by consumer behavior data points to help highlight why including this piece of information will help boost your engagement. You can make these changes in your CRM of choice, and it'll update your strength score accordingly. You can click on the comparable listings to be taken to that listing and see what they're doing differently. But here in Ignite, you can see how long they've been on the site, how many views they've had, and the amount of images uploaded and features those agents have declared about the property. Lastly, we've included property feature suggestions. This uses AI to detect unique aspects of the property that you might not have included in the description or declared features. This also highlights the most unique feature of the property and how these unique features compare to other listings in the market. By updating the listing information to include these features, your listing is more likely to appear in filtered search results, meaning more consumers seeing the listing.
So the last feature included in listing optimization is the image reorder. So to give you a quick refresher, we provide you with a recommendation on a change to the photo carousel order to help with more listing views and inquiries. So this recommendation is based on how buyers are engaging with your listing photos and what's driving the greatest engagement. So on day 10 from when the listing was created, or day 6 for rent, you'll receive an email with the recommendation of a new photo order. Then on day 14 for buy or day 10 for rent, the new photo order will automatically take place. What's new this year is that you'll now be offered a second manual photo reorder that you can schedule at a time that suits your campaign. So consider when this may be most beneficial for your campaign, such as before an inspection or auction, or to stimulate more interest in your listing if needed. Perhaps your vendor isn't happy with how the listing's performing. This is something you can keep in your toolkit and give your campaign a boost. I know what you're thinking. If you don't wish to have your listing photo order changed, you're able to opt out anytime. So once the listing's live, or when you get the recommendation email, or even after it occurs, you're able to revert it back to the original anytime at all through Ignite. So the next video will show you how to access the image optimization feature in Ignite.
Today, I'm going to run you through how to access the image optimization feature inside Ignite, which helps to free you up to do what you do best during your Premier Plus campaign. Once you've logged into Ignite, head over to the Listings and Campaigns section, and then go and find the listing that you wish to view the upcoming optimization for. Once there, navigate to the Manage tab, and then on the left-hand side, choose Listing Optimization. Throughout the campaign, the image optimization algorithm will be measuring consumer engagement with each image in your listing. The lead agent will then be notified whenever there's a more performant image order available. When the new image order is available, you'll be able to come into Ignite and see the optimized image order here, as well as the original order that you posted from your CRM. While image optimization is designed to give you a more performant listing, there is always the option to opt out here in Ignite or via the emails. After day 14 for buy listings and day 10 for rent listings, the image order will be automatically optimized by the algorithm based on consumer engagement. Like other Premier Plus features, once the automatic image optimization has occurred, you'll have the option to come back into Ignite and apply an additional image reorder to help refresh engagement with your campaign. Once the algorithm has identified that other images in your listing are getting more engagement, it'll suggest a new order. You're able to reveal this new order as many times as you like, and it might change day to day, but be careful when applying the order because you can only do this once per campaign.
And finally, last year we released Listing Insights. So essentially this allows you to utilize realestate.com.au's unique insights on our consumer audience to improve your listings and generate more page views and leads. So Listing Insights are unique insights on your listing and are updated daily to give you a really good understanding of how they're performing in market and to help vendor and landlord conversations. They're available in Ignite from day 3 of your listing, and they include how many potential buyers or renters. So this is the number of people who are seriously interested in a particular property type in the search suburb with the same price. See how many similar properties. So this will be the number of the bedrooms, property type, suburb, and price range on realestate.com.au and includes your listing. Your unique attribute. So this is the most unique feature of your property in your market, really highlighting to you what is going to stand you out against the rest of the competition. And finally, we give you a price comparison. So your property is compared against the median price of similar properties, and a comparison of land size is also provided where possible. Let's take a really quick short look at a video on how to access listing insights.
Today, I'm going to run you through how to access Listing Insights in Ignite, a Premier Plus feature that will help you have better informed conversations and make smarter decisions. Once you've logged into Ignite, head over to the Listings and Campaigns section. From the list, pick the property you'd like to view your listing insights for. Once here, make sure you're on the Performance tab, and from day 3 of your campaign, you'll be able to see your exclusive Premier Plus listing insights. You'll be able to see how many similar properties are on the market, how many people are actively searching for these types of properties, the most unique attribute about this property and how that stacks up to the similar properties, and lastly, how the price compares to the current market. We're also constantly improving our algorithm that powers the detection of these unique attributes, so you can expect more attributes to become available over time. And if you'd like to see the full list of unique attributes, go check out your listing strength check in the Manage tab. The insights will be updated daily, ensuring your listing is always compared to the most up-to-date market data.
So lots of fantastic features available right now and
Mhm.
accessible through Ignite, Claire. But I'm always one for looking forward as well. I'd like to know what it is we're going to do better for our customers. So speaking of listing insights, I know there are some new features coming on the 1st of July, and it's starting with actually something I'm really excited about sharing with our customers, and that's postcode reporting, because we know they've been asking for it. So I wonder if you could just share a tiny bit of a teaser.
I
around what's
can
to come.
definitely do that, Lofty. So in December last year, we updated our buyer inquiry forms on realestate.com.au to include a postcode field to help us understand where buyers are coming from and to really qualify and prioritize those individual leads for you based on location. Come July 1, we'll be rolling all that data up to provide you with postcode reporting to show you where potential buyers are coming for each postcode. So you'll be able to search a postcode in Ignite, find out the top suburb buyers, where they're coming from in the area, and you'll also be able to filter by property type and price. Really powerful insights. And as Lofty said, I know all of you have been asking for a long, long time, so I'm really pleased that we're able to finally deliver it. And as part of your Premier Plus contract, you have access to Campaign Flex, which allows you to downgrade 1 in 5 listings using Flex points. Come July 1, we have a new feature where we'll be offering lower value asset flex, which is designed to give you even more flexibility for those lower valued listings. So provided property falls below the threshold in each price zone, LVA Flex will offer you unlimited downgrades to feature or highlight, also unlimited pay on sale for premier listings, all without having to use any of those Campaign Flex points. So these are really designed to give you the ability to cater for all types of market conditions and vendor situations. We have seen a really positive impact in the commercial marketplace where we've had this for about over a year now, and we're pleased to be able to offer it to our resi customers now.
So we've had a big focus on market. There's now 2 other segments that we'd love to take a quick look at. So maybe if we shift our focus now to pre-market, Claire, really just keen to hear about what's available for Premier Plus customers in that phase and how can they potentially use Coming Soon.
Yeah. So Coming Soon is our pre-market solution that enables you to create a listing through Ignite earlier in your campaign and amplify it over realestate.com.au and property.com.au. So we definitely don't see this as an off-market solution, as we know that a full market campaign is the best way to achieve the highest sale price. However, we do believe that Coming Soon is a great way for you to launch your campaign into the pre-market phase and really obtain that early feedback on the listing, particularly around price, and to make that on-market phase work a lot harder for you and ultimately drive a better result for your vendor. It's also a way for you to complement those existing pre-market activities that most of you are already doing. And the numbers speak for themselves. So our latest data showed that realestate.com.au users are up to 73% more likely to submit an email inquiry on a coming soon listing compared to an on-market listing. So this step is really important as the buyers are inquiring on coming soon listings and they're highly engaged even at this early stage of the campaign.
Okay. So it sounds like a really exciting tool, Claire. And remember, this is included as part of your Premier Plus listing price. But as soon as the coming soon listing goes live, you're committing to listing that property as a Premier listing.
Yeah.
So now finally, let's move right down to the end now. And we've had a successful campaign. What features of Premier Plus are available now post-market?
So this is all pure agent and agency value. And we really want to recognize that it's you, our customers, that promote our products in the living room conversations. So these features are really designed to help extend your brand awareness with potential vendors. So firstly, we have eBrochures Sold, which is where you're able to share your success with prospective sellers. So the way you're able to do this is showcasing your recently sold properties with sellers in their inbox. Within 48 hours of the listing being marked as sold, we'll email your recent sold property to a highly targeted group of potential sellers. Once they receive that email, they're easily able to make an inquiry or request an appraisal from you, which is really going to help you increase your seller leads. eBrochure Sold is really important to help build your agent and agency brand as well. And recent analysis is showing us that eBrochure Sold is producing a click-through rate of 5.5%, which is significantly above industry benchmarks. And then we have recently sold. So this features sold Premier Plus listings right where consumers are searching in the buy results page. To take advantage of this feature, all you need to do is make sure you have a sold price associated with your sold listings. So both of these features are a fantastic way for you to share your success with potential sellers and really market yourself as a suburb specialist.
So let's take stock. There's been quite a bit to take in. So today, Claire shared with us all of the elements related to your Premier Plus listings, which is the complete digital marketing solution. We talked about the different phases and how your vendor will benefit. Pre-market, it really helps for you to build demand for your properties prior to you going live with your campaign. The on-market features are designed to boost your reach, whilst on market, and include tools like the new campaign overview tool and enhancements to listing optimization and insights. And post-market, that opportunity, as Claire's just shared, for you to really start to reach that next seller and win that next listing through sharing your results with prospective vendors. Now, to make sure you're really getting all the value from your Premier Plus contract, there are two key things you need to do. And apologies if I'm sounding like a broken record today. One, if you're not already using Ignite, sign up now. Without Ignite, you're missing out on all of the value we just spoke about and that you're able to see in some of those videos that we shared. Secondly, I would strongly recommend visiting our Premier Plus Resource Hub and saving that to your favorites now. The Hub has a huge range of best practice content, videos, frequently asked questions, and a lot of the content we went through today is housed there. You can also stay tuned for some further updates coming in the next month as we look to relaunch the Hub in a new and exciting way. If you want to revisit this webinar, and I know a few people have been asking about that, there will be a recording housed on the Premier Plus Resource Hub. And also following this session, we'll share a link directly to yourselves as an attendee today, and also anyone else from your businesses who registered but was unable to attend. You can obviously always reach out to your REA account representative as well if you need any further help along the way. As a business, my team, the sales team, Claire's team in product, we are all here to help you get the most out of your Premier Plus listings. All right, so time to get to some questions. So forgive Claire and I if I'm looking across on another screen here. We're just working through on one of our tools, getting a few questions that are coming through chat or Q&A. Thank you so much to those that have come in. We might actually start with a couple of questions, Claire, that came through as part of the registration process. So I might first start with, one of the questions was, our agents never really log in to activate their listing refreshes and their listing optimization. Is there a way to automate this so we get the best value?
So the image reorder is automated. So you don't need to do anything. We'll do that for you. The listing bumps and the second e-brochure, you will have to go in and schedule those to activate them. And that's just because we don't know the right time to send those in your campaign. Every agency, every vendor, every agent has a different expectation and a different strategy. So we really want to encourage you to go in there and think about the best time to use them.
We know some of the teams that work are very different. So in some cases, we have principals who are selling agents who also do their own admin. But in some of our bigger businesses, there's admins who are really helping our agents get the best result. How is it that we're going to help admins access this capability so they can look at all the agents they manage on Ignite, and rather than having to log into each account if they're managing big teams?
Yes, so they definitely don't have to log into each agent's account on behalf of them. They can log into Ignite on their own account, and they're able to see all the listings and all the agents, and they'll be able to action them on their behalf. So nothing that they need to do separate, just create their own account and they'll be able to help their business.
And just to confirm, Claire, I think that's just related to the permissions we've got within Ignite, and that's just permissions that people can set up in their businesses.
Yeah.
Great. That's a really good one to speak to your account manager about if you are struggling. I can see you're just sliding through here, Claire. One of the questions that came through is, what format should floor plans be? I know PNG suggested. What else can we potentially use?
JPEG is fine. I really just want to make sure that your floor plans are high resolution. So we really want them to be black and white. We want clear fonts, and that way they're presented beautifully on app versus the desktop. However, our consumers are looking for properties. So just make sure that they're really high resolution.
Okay, great. Listing strengths check. I know I asked you this question a few months ago when we were preparing for launch. How is it actually calculated?
So now you're testing me. So it's based on the presence or absence of features located within your listing. So we determine the importance of each feature based on the consumer research, and then we calibrate the strength score to a mean listing engagement score for a category. That's really complicated way of explaining that. We look at all the content in there, we look at the mean averages, and then we associate your strength score off the back. But we'd love to hear your feedback. We've just launched it at the end of March. We think it's a really exciting feature, and it's going to help not only you improve the quality of your listings and your businesses, but really help consumers find the properties that are right for them.
Yeah, great. And from what I understand, we have computers and AI that's working. So that's always improving its algorithm.
Yes.
So it's constantly evolving to provide the best advice at that point in time as well.
Correct.
Okay, great. I wish my brain could evolve in the same way, Claire. This has come through a few times around listing bump. So just to be really clear, can you purchase any additional listing bumps?
No, you cannot. You only get one included with your contract. So use it wisely. Make sure you think about when the right time to schedule that in or activate it when your vendor or your campaign is needing it. Like, you've got it up your sleeve. You don't have to use it on every campaign, but it's available to you and it's flexible for what you need.
Yeah, okay, great. I can see this one's from Rebecca, but again, I know it's come through from a couple of people. If you scheduled a bump right now, like, how long does it take to actually work? Would it go immediately to the top of the search results? Do I have to wait a few hours? What's going to happen?
It's pretty much instant. So 99% of the time it'll be up there immediately, if not within the next 10 to 15 minutes max. So very rare cases it could take an hour, but you should be able to see it very quickly.
Okay. And just to confirm, if you're scheduling a bump, you can bump it for not only the date, but also the time.
Yes.
that you want that bump to go as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you really, really want to make sure it goes at a certain time, I'd encourage you to use the schedule tool.
Definitely. That's what it's there for.
Let's have a look here. I might just jump across onto my other screen, so forgive me everyone for not looking here. One of the questions that came through is around listing bump, and is there a way to almost increase the volume or the way that bump performs? 105% extra property page views is incredible. What other tips have you got for people around using bump and how to make that bump perform the best it possibly can for a listing?
So I recommend thinking about the time of day. We know that consumers are searching at, specific points of the day. It might be on the train on the way into work, it might be during their lunch break, or on the way home in the evening when they're talking with their partners and perusing potential properties. So there's some good times of the day you could use them. Think about the right time of the week. If it's before an inspection or an auction coming up that weekend, you might want to bump it in the second half of the week so that it's front of mind with those potential buyers. But as I said, there's no right way to do it. You really have to think about what the best time and day is for that particular property and your particular business, and you will see the performance. You'll see what you get off the back of it, and you'll be able to feed that back into the rest of your team members in the agency and see what's working and what's not, and how you can collectively make it work harder for you.
Yeah, great. I know this one comes through a lot, and it even comes through when I spend time in field with our sales teams around, if you think about when Premier Plus was launched and Listing Bump was launched, it had to be something you had to go in and activate immediately. There was no scheduler available. We've now got scheduler available, so people can start to plan a little bit further ahead. Is there a plan at all to start to make features like this automated, or we always leave some of this in the hands of our agents potentially?
I don't have the magic answer, Paul. We would love to make your lives as simple as possible. Any tools that we create we're looking at what's the most effective way to automate and make sure that you're not in Ignite spending all your time there. But there are some features that we do encourage you to, as I said, I've banged on about this a few times now, think about the right way to do it. We don't have all the answers about your particular property in your particular market and the amount of engagement in that listing. You've got to think about how you can use it strategically for your particular market. And that's why we want to give you the flexibility to do that. So we will automate as much as we can, but we will always leave some up to our agents to use at their discretion, really.
And I know, having been out running around here in Victoria and New South Wales over the last few weeks and seeing some customers, to where the campaign overview tool can be really powerful as well for you guys. So you can actually start to see visually what features have been used, what features are still available, and start to plan that out to really execute, as Claire's saying. Here's a really simple one I can answer, which is pretty cool. So one of the ones that came through is, what's the maximum number of photos we can use on a listing? I know we spoke about 6 being the minimum recommended number. For a listing, the maximum number of photos is 35 images and 2 floor plans. So that must be a very, very lovely large property that you'd want to showcase, but it's 35 images and 2 floor plans.
Just to add on to that, we're also seeing increased engagement with videos, 3D tours. So definitely try and include those where you can, because we know that buyers and tenants are really looking for that kind of content to assess a property.
So Claire, a couple about listing optimization next. So one of them talks to, are you unable to change your pictures at any point throughout the campaign? Do you need to wait for that listing optimization feature to jump in? That's part A. And part B, I'm happy to prompt you if you need this one as well, is how do you opt back? I know you spoke about it earlier, but it might be a good one to revisit.
Yep. So whatever order comes through from your CRM will be the order that appears on site. We then look at the engagement from consumers on each of those images, and we'll suggest a new order if perhaps image 5 is getting more engagement than your hero image. That recommendation will come on day 10. So, and then and we'll send you out an email, and then you have a few days before we actually automate that on day 14. But if you want to change the order any time, you can do that via your CRM before that image order. You can revert in Ignite once the order has taken place. It's really up to you. We don't want to take control of your listing. We're just providing a recommendation. And again, as I said before, we're trying to automate where possible to take that out of your day-to-day.
And just confirming, so as an agent, they can be reordering photos every day, however they may choose to do so. And that's included as part of Premier Plus. There's no additional cost.
They can only reorder a second using the algorithm once more.
Okay, so it's just the algorithm there, but themselves
and
their own algorithm,
you can do whatever you want.
people can play around.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We've had a customer who's come through who I believe must have opted out of image optimization. How do they opt back in?
So if you've opted out at a listing level, you can just go into the Manage tab under Image Optimization and click the big red button that says Opt In. Should be really simple and easy to use. And, customer support is always there, or your account partner if you have any questions.
Great. So I might just jump into a couple of the last things. There's a piece here about rural listings and coming soon. Is that a feature that's available at the moment for rural listings?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. We're still trying to find the right product for our rural listings. But I hear you. I can see that it's something you're looking for, and we'll be sure to look into it. We are constantly looking for ways to optimize our products, and we know that there is a bit of an appetite for our rural listings, not only in coming soon, but also with eBrochures. So we are looking at new ways to create new products for those specifically.
So I'm conscious of time. Thanks so much for all the questions that have come through. We'll take a record of any remaining questions and look to follow up directly wherever possible for your provided details. And thanks so much for your engagement. Some fantastic questions coming through. We have had a question just lastly around how to find the Resource Hub. What you receive early next week, an email from our team here that will provide details of the webinar and some follow-up. We'll also provide that direct link so you can save it off if you've missed the QR codes earlier in today's webinar. And I'd really encourage you to save that as a favorite. So many of the resources we've showcased today are available there. So Claire, we might just click to the last one around feedback being really important. So I know the team in the background have been working feverishly with some webinar feedback, and you can see now there's a poll on your page. It's a really simple single question. This is incredibly valuable insight for myself and Claire and the team in the background. A huge team that have really helped us to develop the content for you guys today. Just let us know how valuable the webinar was. It's saying here for us hosts and panelists can't vote. So unfortunately, Claire, we can't do extremely valuable for us. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much. A huge thanks from myself to Claire for everything that's gone into today, and also for all the work that you and your product teams have been doing to deliver new values to our customers. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Lofty.
And for all of yourselves, we really hope you found today really useful. Please remember to reach out directly to your REA account representative if you have any other questions. Keep an eye out for an email from our teams early next week, providing the links and other follow-up resources for you and your teams to access. And wishing you a really, really great end to the week. And hopefully for many of you, you may be enjoying a bit of a long weekend. So take care through Anzac Day and the days ahead. Thanks everyone so much. Speak soon.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye.